Hello, art friends. I don't usually spend a lot of time pre-planning when I draw. I usually just whip out a pen and just start drawing. I am curious to see what will happen if I switch it around. If you've been here for a while, you may already know that I often will just pick up a pen and just start drawing, no reference and no thumbnail. And I've had some success with that. I drew this thing, no reference and no thumbnail, no plan, no nothing. Just took a pen and started drawing. This is from a recent video, and I drew that. And this is from a bit of an older video. This is the Bone Banker gets all gussied up for the Bone Banker's ball. It's kind of a nice one. I really like that. And here's a last one I'll show you. I drew this a little while ago here on the channel with no pre-planning and no thumbnail. Just selected those three because they're kind of big and easier to show to the camera. Usually I draw on a much smaller scale, and for Inktober I'm definitely planning on drawing on a much smaller scale, but I have some objectives and some things that I would like to they said that Inktober is about 3 goals, and that first goal that they listed is improving at art. So I want to do that. I would like to improve. I would like to use Inktober of 2025 to improve on my art. So I've set a couple of personal goals, things that I would like to get better at through my Inktober drawings. And hopefully planning ahead is going to help me do that. This is a pencil. I don't have to tell you that. You already know. And when I was a child, this was my very best friend. I used to love drawing so much, and pencil was what let me draw. And a pencil, one of my favorite features about it was that you could flip it around and it had this thing, the eraser. And whenever you make a mistake, the eraser could take it away. And then you could start drawing again. Back when I was a young adult, I used to have a monthly comic book. And that monthly comic book, I didn't do pre-planning either. I would just draw those panel boxes and then just fill them in with a pencil, and then I would ink it, because that's how you're supposed to do comic books. But sometimes when I was getting behind schedule, because it is very difficult to do a monthly comic book, let me tell you, sometimes when I get behind schedule, I wouldn't even ink those pages. I would just scan in the pencil drawings and then boost the contrast until it looked like it was inked, and just keep going. These days, lately, I just flip that around. I just don't even go bye pencil and just take the ink pen and start going with that. Problem being is that if you do make a mistake, you just gotta live with it. Last year for Inktober, I did 31 images for those prompts, and some of them were just trash, and I had to do the whole drawing over again. Some of those are not my first drawings, because sometimes you make a mistake that's so bad when you're inking that you just gotta start over. But a lot of them I just lived with how it turned out, but very early on into the process, there were things where I was like, oh, if I had that to do over again, I would do this instead of that, and I would do that instead of this. Now I am pre-planning, because there is time left before October even starts. And so I've been drawing these things. You can't see these things on the camera, they won't show up. But that's fine, because they're not even worth seeing. They're not even the thumbnails yet. These are pre-thumbnails. That's right, I am doing ideas about the ideas that I'm going to have. And so all of these 31 drawings, there aren't 31 yet because I have 3 that are incomplete. But all these are just an attempt to really quickly capture the idea. What am I going to draw? And just like a stick figure representation of all of them. So, getting back to those personal art goals that I set for myself, one of the 3 art goals I have is getting better at the use of negative space. This drawing, which you hopefully can see because it's in ink, is good. I like it. It's from a couple videos back, but I would like to get better at using negative space. This is a bit overcrowded. It's just got lines throughout, and I would like to get a little more intentional about having some negative space in places strategically placed so that it can draw your eye to the right places, the things that I do want you to focus on. So I am going to pre-plan for that. At the same time, goal number 2 is I would like to get better at having good layers. Something intentional happening in the background, something happening at the subject layer, and then maybe something happening in the foreground. I would like to, last year's Inktober pieces, 31 prompts, a lot of them were just a subject on a white background. For the sake of time, some of them are still going to have to be that way this year. But I would like to, when I'm done, have at least 4 or 5 pieces that can really wow me with like, oh, that is something cool going on in the background, in the middle ground, and in the foreground. Looks mwah. And the last of the 3 goals, I talked about it a lot in the last video, but I will briefly touch on it again, is that I am hoping to use this Inktober to get 64 really good thumbnails. The Inktober pieces will serve as thumbnails for themselves. You can shrink them down and it'll be like, oh, check out this piece of art. And also there are 31 songs that I've already written that correspond with them. And so one side of the drawing will be a thumbnail for the song title, and one side will be a thumbnail for the actual Inktober prompt. And then I want them to just work together in some kind of clever way. So I am putting thought in ahead of time to get them to work that way. Today I'm not going to do those thumbnails I've gotten, or even show you the pre-thumbnails. Don't even worry about the pre-thumbnails, who cares? But I am going to soon start working on the thumbnails and see what kind of an interesting thought experiment that is, and see what I come up with. I'm going to be penciling those, so it'll be interesting reacquainting myself with my old friend. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for being here in this video with your eyeballs, and wherever you are in this crazy world, I wish peace and love for you. And that's it.